Good day, people. Welcome to the Zero Limits Club, where there are zero limits, studying the book together, using the power of two or more. The book by Dr. Joe Vitale. We're going to have him on the show. That'll be something, wouldn't it? If I brought him on to Zero Limits Club, that'd be some good text afterwards. There'd be hearts by it. Mercedes loved the comment. Desiree put a ha-ha by it. FP put an exclamation point by it. Yeah, Dr. Joe on the show? Well, yeah, that's right. So Dr. Joe wanted a Hawaiian name, and he heard that he could just ask for one. So I thought, well, I could ask for one. So I was laying in bed last night, and I asked for my Hawaiian name from Dr. Hulan, and here's what I came up with. A balda akoa. I think it means bald coach. I became a balda akoa since studying the club. Zero limits. Today's October 6th, 2021. Date numerology 57, 12, 3. Wrote down this. How wonderful to realize peace and freedom begins with me. How wonderful is it for me to realize that I have control of peace, the thing I desire the very, very most, peace. How wonderful to realize that I have control of peace, that I'm in charge of freedom. How wonderful to know that I'm in charge of freedom. The two things that I'd really like, peace and freedom. Two entrees, peace and freedom. Well, I always have wanted, even when I didn't know exactly. That's really what I desired, peace and freedom. How wonderful to realize that I have control of it, that begins with me. Sure sounds good to balda akoa. I do think it means bald coach, and I think it's a little bit of a play on words, but hey, Hawaii. So Dr. Joe asked E. Haleakula if he would write a book with him. He calls him up, he types him up over the email. Would you write a book with me on how that you healed the ward? And Dr. E replied, Joe, peace begins with me. Humanity has accumulated addictive memories of perceiving others as needing assistance. Let's do it again. Humanity has accumulated addictive memories of perceiving others as needing assistance. Self-identity through the process. They're calling it Ho'oponopono. It's ancient and it's Hawaiian. And Dr. Hulan learned this, and he's just passing it through. Here comes Joe Vitale writing the book about it. Here we are having a book club about this process. The self-identity process is about releasing the memories within our subconscious that there are other people that need us or need our assistance. These memories replay perception that problems are out there. They're memories on the screen, not within. Remember how it works? Everything that happened in the beginning. You know how this works? Placed on the disc. This is what I believe. It's a theory. It's a balda akoa Hawaiian theory. Hanging loose with balda akoa. That's what this edition is going to be called. That everything happened in the beginning. We've heard this before. That the game is like a game of computer chess where all the outcomes, all the possible outcomes are already ingrained, designed, put into the chip, and put into the game. So what I'm suspecting is that that's in here, and that we are projectors, and that we project out onto a 360-degree point of view screen. It's the screen of all screens, people. Everywhere you look, you see the screen. You project out. This is my theory, that we're projecting out from the projector the screen. And it's a funny thing when you can step back far enough from it. Sometimes it's funny for me. Sometimes I step back far enough and I can see the screen and I can see my interaction with the screen. I'm up there in the screen's business. I'm out there trying to fix the screen. I get out of my chair in the movie theater and I run up to the screen and try to do something on the screen when the change has to be made in here, back here where the projector guy is. You ever been in the movies and there's that little hole, the movie comes out and it projects on the screen? You know, it's behind you. You're sitting in the chairs in the theater. And behind you, there's a projector. And there's a little hole. There's a guy in there. I'm going to find out what he does during the movie. I'm going to find out. Probably in there doing Ho'oponopono. Maybe watching the Balda show. So it's all about releasing these memories. Everything on the screen is a memory replaying itself, is a perception. And the process is jacking into the divine. Instead of engaging the present or whatever's on the screen, because if you engage it, the law says it has to grow. This is saying connect to the divine, divinity, infinity, the grand architect of all this, the maker of everything, the all of everything, to be in communication, to take responsibility for all of it. And find out this comes through learning how it goes, to stay on the rules of the game. Keep staying with the rules. Keep learning about the rules. I'm writing books about the rules so I can remember the most important part of the whole thing is the taking the responsibility of the cleaning and clearing. Oh, how easy is it to go, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry. But the remembering to do it, the taking responsibility for all of it, the understanding of the 360 POV, that is the real trick here. See what I'm going to do on it? I'm going to clean and clear on it. Because what I'm getting out of this is there's nothing else to do to get to what they're calling the zero state, except for continually speak to the divine while taking responsibility for all of it and say over and over, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, and I'm sorry. Thank you, I love you, please forgive me, and I'm sorry. The reason I'm going with it is because this Dr. Hulan was a therapist in Hawaii. You know about the story. And he healed an entire ward. What's up, FP? Healing the ward. Through this technique of looking at the files of the people on the ward, taking responsibility for whatever they had done, and doing this technique. I'm finding some good results from it. I'm feeling better, more connected. I'm waking up more. I can see that there's gaps in the day that there's no thank you, I love you going on. Just gotta fill it in. Take a couple minutes to fill it in. You know, when you clean up a kitchen, it takes a little while. I believe this. This is the theory, that the whole purpose of the game is this choice of restoring our identity or remembering who we are. The whole purpose. You come into the game, you forget. You don't know about the screen. You don't know about the projector. You don't know about the memories. I wrote this down. In reestablishing your original rhythm with divine intelligence, then zero opens. The soul is suffused with inspiration. I found out about the definition of suffuse is to cause to flood through. So, in reestablishing the original rhythm with divinity, zero opens the soul and floods through and across with inspiration. Gotta just clean it up. Now, people who do the process want to share the information with others with the intent that it will help others. It's great to remember that getting out of the I can help them mode is a tough one to get. You gotta clean and clear yourself out of it. Explaining the process will not set you free. Doing the process will. Explaining the process to people does not free up the problems or memories, but doing the process does. Jacking into the divine, taking responsibility for all of it, looking at how you been doing, screen, how you been doing anyways, addressing it, understanding I'm at the movies, to take it no more serious. I'm at the movies. You know, it's Halloween when they bring out the goblins and the skeletons, the scarecrows, the jack-o'-lanterns. No more than at the movie. If we are willing to clean up, we will be fine. And then everyone will be fine. If we're willing to clean it all up, everything will be fine. So will everyone else. So remember the rules. Set yourself free first and all others second. Do Ho'oponopono first. Teach it second. Peace begins with me, a balda.